Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, in just a few minutes you're going to hear evidence about the impact of these murders on the family, friends, and or the community of the decedents. This evidence is presented to show the particular victim's uniqueness as an individual and the resultant loss by the decedent's death. However, you may not consider this evidence as an aggravating factor. State.
Thank you, Your Honor. State would like to call Ms. Patricia Oliver, please. The state will also be calling Ms. Andrea Gersey.
There's another lady behind me.
So stand away to this one.
Yeah. Okay, would you both please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You can both put your hands down, and if the young lady to my right would please state your full name for the record.
Yeah. Andrea Gersey, G-H-E-R-S-I.
And ma'am, would you please state your full name for the record?
Yes, Patricia Oliver, O-L-I-V-E-R.
Okay, you can both go ahead and be seated, and then whoever is going to speak first, maybe you want to sit closest to me so you'll be closest to the microphone, okay?
Yep.
This is your mic.
Oh, they added an additional microphone. So are you going to speak first, ma'am?
My mom is.
Your mom's going to speak first. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Oliver.
Good afternoon.
Are you the mother of Joaquin Oliver?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to show you a photograph that's been marked as State's Exhibit 72. May I approach the witness, Your Honor? Can you please identify this picture? Is this your son?
Yes.
Will you please show it to the jury? Thank you, Ms.
This
Oliver.
is the day that he was celebrating his senior year.
Ms. Oliver, thank you. Did you prepare a statement to share with the jury today?
Yes.
Okay. And you have a copy of that statement?
Yes, I do.
Could you please read it for us?
Yes. My adorable Mipu, I used to write you birthday cards, sticky notes, with instructions about how to reheat his food after school, reminders how getting ready for a game or practice for the sport he was playing then, or a pending court at home. This is the right time to let everybody know how special Joaquin was. Papi and Mommy decided it was time to have a baby, and Joaquin came into our life. He was the missing link of our family. During the whole pregnancy, we enjoyed every moment of it, including the doctor's visits. August 4th, the best day of our family life, our beautiful dear little boy, Big Eyes, has arrived. Joaquin. We always had ways to show how much we love him. His dad was always with me when I had to feed him late at night. His sister, whom he called Beautiful Girl, gave up vacations with her Aunt Isabel to stay home and take care of him. She didn't want to miss a moment with him. She was always next to his babysitter, Josefina, who gave him so much love and care during his first year. For the moment he came into my life, He taught me how to express my emotions physically. We hugged each other, we held hands. He blew me kisses and sometimes said, "Mommy, did you see I blew you a kiss?" He brought me a smile to my face, gave me happiness, and that feeds my soul madly. He slept in our bed since he was very little. We cuddled and shared the same pillow. I loved when he came to our room as a teenager at night, waking me up and saying, "Mommy, I can't sleep. Can I sleep with you?" I felt that even though he was a teenager, he still had a baby soul. He needed Mommy to hug him and hold his hands during his sleep, a feeling that is vivid until today. I relive and try to find a moment that is only ours. Sleeping will never be the same. He was loved, hugged, and cuddled by everyone, his grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. He missed dearly by them all. It's been 4 years and 4 months since he was taken from us, his friends, and his family. We miss him more than words can say and love him dearly. While we will never be the same, we have found a way to deal with his absence and be motivated by helping others living with this kind of loss and pain to move forward. I always deny speaking of the way he was taken from us, but today I must let the world hear from me. To accept that he is not physically here with us still is an issue for me. Why? Because it hurts me very deeply. I must let the listeners feel how painful it is to live with this deep hole in my heart. I can deal with my family gatherings. It is impossible to deal with everybody that was used to get together with, and he is not there. That's done. I can't share happy moments or see pictures with all his cousins, and he's not there. I keep inside an anger that I consciously don't feel, but when I see myself in a picture or on a video, it shows in my face, putting out my real feelings. Smiling has become harsh. Our life was disrupted suddenly, and now I keep talking to him in my mind. I have to imagine the moments we were supposed to live and share with him. It hurts to think of preps for graduation from high school, the outfit he was planning to wear. He always wants to plan things. I remember talking about the belt he wanted to wear for the big day. College, he wanted to go to Orlando, then to Tallinn. As a family, we debated the best option, always having great chats about his projects in the present and future. I miss every moment of that. I miss the fluent way we used to talk, while we got ready in the mornings, always updating us about our day, him, his sister, and me. College. He was supposed to graduate this year in business with a major in sports management, which was his plan. All the future ahead of him was taken from us. Getting his first professional job, moving on his own, cooking or doing laundry, everything he was supposed to learn from me, and being part of his growth as an adult is no more. Joaquin, the young adult, the one who plans to get married and travel the world, and his dear girlfriend shared with me going to Africa. All these dreams and could have been taken away. His friends, I didn't know he had that many friends. Girls, boys, little kids. They all miss him endlessly. I feel in my heart. the suffering they all endured since the day he was taken from us. They came home devastated, crying. Their lives are changed forever. They share with me how he impacted their life. They say his empathy, loving soul, passion, friendship, the meaning of love, energy, contagious smile. He value of everything, everyone, believed in himself, stood up for what is right, was genuine to himself and appreciated others. Our life has been shattered and changed forever.
Thank you, Mrs. Oliver. Next, Ms. Gersey. You can stay seated there.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my brother, Joaquin. I vividly remember the phone call we received when he was born and everything changed. I went from being an only child to having a baby brother, my very own baby doll. With our age difference and moving to a new country, where both my parents had to work endless hours, my relationship with Joaquin changed. I took on the role of mother figure, more so than just his older sister. Joaquin was energetic, vibrant, loud, confident, strong, empathetic, understanding, smart, passionate, outgoing, playful, loving, competitive, rebellious, funny, loyal, and constantly spoke up when he felt something was not just. As his older sister, I've always been very protective of him. At the end of the day, even if he was 6'1", I always saw him as my baby. I always felt Joaquin would have a big future filled with prosperity, success, and lots of love. When February the 14th came, all those hopes and dreams ended. I will never forget sitting in the living room with my parents, saying how a part of us died that day with Joaquin. And what is left of us had to learn to live an empty life. My life without my brother Joaquin has changed in so many ways. It's not just the day-to-day things, but also my future, and it hurts me. What happens when we run out of pictures, when we get old and the memories start to fade? When I get married and you aren't there? When I have kids and they don't have an uncle? What happens every single day when I want to call you and I can't? When every single Christmas that every family gets together but ours? When birthdays aren't a celebration anymore? When nighttime comes and thoughts creep in and we realize you are truly gone? This is life now and it hurts. It hurts a lot, not just today but every single day. I feel an unimaginable void in my being when I think about all those things. When it's not just future events that add more pain to my heart, but the simply daily reminders, like your empty room, driving by the baseball fields, the basketball courts, when I go to call someone on my favorites list and your name is right at the top. When there are certain songs I simply cannot hear, the list is endless.
We have 4 more.
Okay.
All jurors are present and accounted for.
Right, everyone may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this afternoon you're going to continue to hear evidence about the impact of the murders on the family, friends, and community of the decedents. Please remember this evidence is presented to show a victim's uniqueness as an individual and the resultant loss by the decedent's death. However, you may not consider this evidence as an aggravating factor. State whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would call Gina Hoyer.
Just stand to be sworn.
Good afternoon. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can go ahead and be seated. Ma'am, would you please state your full name and spell your last name for the record?
Yes, my name is Gina Hoyer, Hoyer.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hoyer.
Good afternoon.
Are you the mother of Luke Hoyer?
Yes, I am.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Ms. Hoyer, I'm going to show you what's been marked into evidence as State's Exhibit 60. Can you identify this, please?
Yes, that's my sweet son, Luke.
Would you show this picture to the jury, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Hoyer, did you prepare a statement today?
Yes, I did.
Would you please read it to the jury?
Yes. My name is Gina Hoyer. Luke Hoyer is my son. I'm here today because of what happened to our family on February 14th, 2018. My sweet son Luke was murdered. He was only 15 years old. Luke was my youngest of 3 and my big surprise baby. In our family, he was better known as Lukey Bear. Even though I know it was embarrassing to him as he got older, he never minded me calling him that. Luke and I were together all the time. Due to age differences, his older sister Abby and younger brother Jake no longer lived at home. So my days were just always with him. I was so lucky. God blessed me with my surprise baby. He was so sweet and funny, and he loved to laugh. He and I always loved to scare each other, and we would laugh so hard when one of us got the other. His smile was contagious. He made everyone laugh, and his presence could change a room. I miss his physical presence so much. I miss hearing his voice say, "Mom," or "Hi, Mom." I miss him beside me in my car. I was always taking him somewhere. Basketball games, friends' houses, school, McDonald's, or his favorite, Chick-fil-A. I still look over at the passenger seat and reach over and pretend I'm touching his cheek or putting my hand on his shoulder. Luke was always so thoughtful with me. He knew how much I loved ice cream. If there was only enough left for one person, he would always ask me if I wanted it first. Every morning, as he ate his breakfast before school, he loved to watch ESPN to check on the Miami Heat or his favorite football teams. But before watching, he would ask me if he could change the channel. When Luke was 5 years old, I would tuck him into his bed every night and give him a night kiss. But he would always wipe it off and tell me to come back and give him another kiss. I would go back to his room about 5 times every night to put that kiss right back on his cheek. As he got older, he would find me every night, wherever I was in the house, to tell me goodnight. Since Luke's death, sweet time rituals with him are only a memory. Now, I pray each night and ask God to tell him how much I miss and love him, and to give him a big hug and a kiss from me. My world is different now. Every morning when I wake up, knowing Luke is not upstairs in his bed is pure agony. The morning of February 14th, I woke Luke up as usual to get him ready for school. He yelled from upstairs, "Mom, thank you for my Valentine card and candy," which I had left on his bathroom counter the night before. That card and bag of Skittles sat on his bathroom counter for over a year. I could not move it, nor can I move anything in his room, which remains the same as it was the day he left it. His glasses and phone charger are still on his nightstand. His clothes are still in the same place. Notes from his basketball coach are still taped to the wall, which not only give him exercises to do every day, which he hated, but also told him not to be afraid or silly, to talk to God and to pray for things that he was thankful for. Pray for others and pray to be a good person and make good decisions. It makes me almost physically ill to change or move anything in his room. I drove Luke to school and dropped him off. That was the last time I saw him. It causes me pain to know that would be the last time I would tell him I love him, and the last time to hear his voice telling me he loved me. I'm so thankful for that moment. Losing my son, Luke, has caused me so much pain. Pain that I cannot even come close to describing. My pain continues. I will never see my sweet boy grow up. I had to walk across the stage to receive Luke's high school diploma, along with his sister Abby. There were no graduation pictures with Luke, no college acceptance letters, no prom pictures, no car trips to South Carolina for Christmas. Christmases are almost unbearable. I look at the pictures of our last family Christmas and still can't believe that was our last one with him. That year, a cross was at the top of his Christmas list. He wore it every day. I had to request it to be removed from his belongings so I could wear it to his funeral. I wear his cross every day, and it gives me such strength. Luke was so special. He is in my thoughts all day, every day. Luke was also unique. When I see a boy with Luke's hairdo, hear a basketball bounce, meet someone with his same name, see the resemblance of him in his dad and his brother and sister, or hear a funny story from one of his friends that makes me laugh, I know it's a wink from Luke in heaven. I know he's with me always. I can't explain it, but I truly feel him by my side. I know he's saying, "I'm okay, Mom." I used to say to my husband as we watched Luke play, or while he was making us laugh, "Tom, what would we do without him?" Never, when I spoke those words, did I ever imagine I would know the answer to that question. It is excruciating agony. I'm heartbroken, and a piece of my heart is missing. My life and my family will never be the same. I only have 15 years with my precious Luke there, but I will treasure those moments and memories of him for the rest of my life. I was so lucky to be his mom.
Thank you, Mrs. Hoyer.
Thank you.
State calls Abby Hoyer.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can go ahead and be seated. Would you please state your full name for the record?
Yes, it's Abby Hoyer, Hoyer.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hoyer.
Good afternoon.
Are you the sister of Luke Hoyer?
I am.
And did you prepare a statement for the court today?
I have.
Will you please read it for us?
My name is Abby Hoyer. Luke Hoyer is my younger brother. Sorry. I say is my younger brother, but in reality, after February 14th, 2018, the correct phrasing would be, he was my younger brother. I continue to say is, and always will, as a way to comfort myself. When people ask how many siblings I have, I still say 2 brothers, but I know our little trio has been shattered and ripped apart. I know this, but it's still really hard to accept. I don't think I ever will. My life has been firmly split into 2 categories, life with Luke and now life without him. I remember when my mom first told me I'd be getting another brother. I was so upset. I had been holding out for a sister. But right after Luke was born, I knew I couldn't imagine life without him. In fact, the thought never even crossed my mind
what it would be like to not have two brothers. Why would it? I was a kid and life was simple. Having two brothers always felt like a constant, a given. Even as I got older, having Jake and Luke by my side was just normal. Now, in this part of life without Luke, I have to cope with a new normal. But my life without Luke does not feel normal. Not having Luke around is not normal. Coming home to a shrine of my dead brother is not normal. Walking to my mother's closet to borrow a pair of socks and seeing Luke's ashes displayed on her shelf is not normal. Setting out an empty chair for Luke at the dinner table is not normal. Watching my brother Jake go through life without his only brother is not normal. Telling new people in my life, I wish you could have met Luke, is not normal. Lighting candles for Luke on holidays is not normal. Trying to celebrate Luke's birthday without him there is not normal. Sitting in Luke's room, knowing he will never walk in, is not normal. Watching my parents break down just from the mention of Luke's name is not normal. Writing a eulogy for my younger brother is not normal. Telling myself I'll hopefully get to see him again one day is not normal. Being in this courtroom, trying to explain what my life without Luke is like, is not only not normal, but it is nearly impossible. None of this is normal. Doesn't matter if it's new or old, normal will never be a word used to describe what my family, no longer a family of 5, but now a family of 4, has and continues to go through. In the weeks following Luke's murder, many people said things along the lines of, try to find peace through the memories of Luke. I know the intention behind those words was comfort, but oftentimes these memories are painful. Happy times Luke and I shared at various places around Parkland are now shrouded by the painful realization that we will never return to those places together ever again. My life is now a series of these realizations. I hope they stop soon, and at the same time, I hope they never end. There is an end, though. Memories made with Luke have a clear end date, February 14th, 2018. I crave these memories, trying to etch each one into my brain, committing every detail to memory as best I can, while all at the same time, they haunt me. They keep me up at night. They stop me dead in my tracks at random times during the day, bringing me to tears. On the days I don't think about my brother, I feel guilty. On the days I do think about him, I feel broken. There is no peace. What causes me the most pain is not having Luke in the future, my future. I couldn't tell you what Luke would have become. I could speculate, of course, but what's the point? I'll never actually know. That's the hardest part of all this, really, the unknowns. Would he still kick my butt on the basketball court? Would he be in college? Would he have attended the same college I did? Would I be showing him all of my favorite hangout spots? Would he be asking me for advice about applying to college or applying for jobs? Or asking me advice about girls? Would we still be going to our favorite ice cream place down the street? I don't know. I'll never know, and that will haunt me forever. But what I do know is that I miss Luke, and that will never change.
Thank you, Ms. Hoyer.
Thank you.
Tom Hoyer.
Good afternoon, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can go ahead and be seated.
Good day.
I'm sorry. Would you, I forgot to ask you to please state your full name for the record.
I'm Thomas Hoyer, Hoyer.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hoyer.
Good afternoon.
Are you the father of Luke Hoyer?
I am.
And did you prepare a statement for us today?
I did.
Will you please read it?
My son is Luke Hoyer, and he was killed on February 14, 2018. The last conversation I had with Luke was on the morning he died. I was going to work, and he was upstairs getting ready for school. I yelled up, "Have a good day," and he said something like, "Okay, you too." That was it. I was out the door to work. I didn't even see him that morning. It was the kind of casual exchange you have when you think you have forever together. And then we didn't. I'm supposed to describe to you what that loss means to me. I don't know really how to do that. All you see now is a broken family. You have nothing to compare us to. I suppose I need to tell you what we had so you know what we lost. So let me tell you what we were on the morning of February 14th, 2018. We were a family unit of 5, always trying to fit into a world set up for even numbers. 2 4 or 6 seat tables in a restaurant, 2 or 4 6 ticket packages, 2 events, things like that. But we loved our odd number family. Our family was older. 1 kid was out of college, 1 was halfway through college, and Luke was a freshman in high school. Luke was our surprise baby, a wonderful, glorious surprise. Despite the age differences, we liked to hang out as a family. We had a family cocoon, Virginia and I. When we were all together, everything was right in the world. Luke was a brother, he was a son, he was a cousin, he was a grandchild, he was a friend. He was part of a broader family that included 2 sets of grandparents, 9 aunts and uncles, and 7 cousins. He was part of the community. One of the stories that we heard after he passed was that he would sometimes play basketball with an autistic boy at the park. I suspect that he did it because he simply liked to play basketball with other kids who liked to play basketball no matter who they were. He never told us about it. One of his friends told us after he died. I never got to talk to Luke about it. I wish I'd had the chance. Made me proud of him. Luke is not a faceless target. He had a place in this world. His life had meaning, not only to me and my family, but to many others around us. Where he was in people's lives is now just a hole. The numbness I felt after his death has worn off, and I'm resigned to this reality. I don't know that I ever will find real peace. Never again will the world feel right now that we're a family of 4. I'll never get to see him play basketball or football again. Never get to watch a Clemson football game with him again. Never get to argue with him about mowing the grass again. I'll never hang in a sports bar with him again, eating chicken wings and drinking Cokes while talking about whatever sport was on TV. I'll never see him with his friends again. The nevers just keep piling up, but one never is different. When Luke died, something went missing in me, and I'll never get over that feeling.
Thank you, Mr. Hoyer.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know this is kind of soon, but I think it would be a good time for maybe a 10-minute break. Please do not discuss the testimony. Please leave your notepads behind, and we'll be back with you in about 10 minutes. We're in recess for about 10 minutes. The jurors are present. Everyone else may be seated. State whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Tavika Collins.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Put your hand down and be seated. And when you're seated, please state your full name for the record.
Tavika Collins, Collins.
Good afternoon, Ms. Collins.
Good afternoon.
Will you be reading a statement prepared by the family of Carmen Shentrup?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Sure.
Ms. Collins, will you please show the jury what has already been marked into evidence as states number 64? And for the record, Your Honor, that is a photograph of Carmen Shentrup.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Collins.
Ms. Collins, would you please read the statement that was prepared by the family of Carmen Shentrup?
Yes. Our beloved daughter, Carmen Marie Shentrup, was 16 years old when she was taken from us. Carmen was our middle child and the kind of daughter that parents wish for. The one that says she will take care of you when you are old. The one that is responsible and wants to help with chores. The one you don't have to worry about when it comes to completing schoolwork, taking care of the dog, or hanging out with friends. Carmen was extraordinary. While many people considered Carmen mature beyond her years, she was still a kid at heart. She was silly, playful, and huggable. As parents, we loved that she never outgrew our hugs and would hug us before she went to bed. We miss her hugs. Carmen was funny and witty in novel ways. When she got on a roll, we laughed until tears rolled down our cheeks. We miss hearing her make us laugh. Carmen was strong. When she was 12, she had major surgery that resulted in 4 metal rods sticking out of her leg for months. She never once complained about it and never attempted to hide the scars. Not one to pass up a good joke, though, she would often come up with funny stories about her scars, like when she said she got them running with the bulls. We miss her strength and courage. Carmen loved a good story and devoured books, routinely reading over 100 per year. Like most teenagers, she enjoyed TV and movies, especially sci-fi, fantasy, and comedies. We miss her stories. Carmen was artistic and loved music. She enjoyed drawing and visiting art museums. She played piano, violin, guitar, and sang in our church choir. We miss her filling our home with music. Carmen was a dreamer. She dreamed of one day living in Germany. The summer before her senior year, she planned on our family vacation to Germany. She taught herself German in the months prior so that she could play the role of translator and guide. We miss seeing her make her dreams come true. Carmen was a dedicated and accomplished student. Throughout school, she was literally a straight A student and a national merit finalist. Carmen never knew this. Her award letter arrived the day after her death. She was accepted into the University of Florida honors program and was exuberant to begin her college experience. She wanted to become a medical scientist and discover a cure for horrible diseases like ALS. She was going to change the world. Carmen was a bright, beautiful young woman bursting into the world. We love and miss her dearly. She was a gift from God and an amazing daughter, sister, and friend. While she was alive, she filled our hearts with loving memories and happiness. Without Carmen, our lives are filled with anger, sorrow, and tears. It is difficult to get through each day knowing that Carmen is no longer here with us. Our daily lives are constantly strenuous. Sleep is a struggle, tossing and turning most nights. Some mornings it is hard to get up, hearing how quiet the house is, seeing her empty chair at the table, and knowing that we can't call or talk to her about our day. Listening to music is painful. Hearing songs that remind us of her can stop us in our tracks. Sometimes it can overwhelm us that we need to pull over when driving. Looking through photo albums brings us tears. Seeing her beautiful photos and knowing that no more photos will be taken of her. What used to be simple things are no longer simple. Our holidays are also days of despair. No longer lighting candles for her birthdays, hanging her empty Christmas stocking, dreading Valentine's Day because it is not a day of love, but of love taken. Knowing that we will no longer have new memories together brings us unspeakable sorrow. We carry with us an excruciating pain that no parent should know and understand. To not see her grow up with her siblings, go to prom, graduate high school, or walk her down the aisle. To miss her smile each day, to try to live on without her. Our days of being a happy family ended when Carmen was killed. Carmen will be forever missed.
Thank you, Ms. Collins.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jennifer Guttenberg and Fred Guttenberg.
I'm sorry.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You can both be seated.
Good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Guttenberg.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Guttenberg,
Yes,
are you the father of Jamie Guttenberg?
I am.
Mrs. Guttenberg, are you the mother of Jamie Guttenberg?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 77 and ask you to identify this photograph.
That's Jamie Guttenberg.
Would you show the jury this photograph, please?
Thank you.
Mr. Guttenberg,
Yes,
did you prepare a statement for us today?
I did.
Would you please share it with us?
Thank you. On February 15th, 2018, at exactly 7:18 a.m., and after a night with no sleep, I went to Facebook and I wrote the following message. My heart is broken. Jennifer Guttenberg and I lost our baby girl at her school. We lost our daughter, and my son Jesse lost his sister. I am broken as I write this and trying to figure out how my family gets through this. We appreciate all the calls and messages, and we apologize for not reacting to everyone individually. Jen and I will be figuring things out today, and so we ask that you respect our privacy. We will be getting messages out later regarding visitation. Hugs to all and hold your children tight. Exactly 24 hours before this message, we sent Jesse and Jamie to school. It was a perfectly normal morning with kids running late, and we were rushing them out the door. I was especially eager to get them out as it was Valentine's Day. For those who don't know, Valentine's Day is my wife's favorite day of the year. It used to always be a day of extra love and celebration in our house. It isn't any longer. On this Valentine's Day, I had a plan to introduce my children to the romance of the day. And so I was especially eager to get them out the door so that I could get to work on that. I was so eager to get them out the door that my last words to my kids that day were, "You gotta go, you're gonna be late." My last words were not, "I love you." I cannot recall if I actually ever did tell Jamie that day how much I loved her. I never knew that I would lose the chance to say it over and over and over again.
My final words to my daughter that day that will live for eternity were not, I love you. They were, you gotta go, you're gonna be late. My son Jesse always looked after his sister like a hawk. He always needed to know that she was okay. He put her well-being above his own. Jesse will be forever affected by the fact that he was supposed to leave school that day with his sister Jamie, but he didn't. He didn't want to leave the school, but he had to. I want to share something with you all that I've never said publicly before. My son wishes it was him. He struggles with the reality that he could not save his sister, and he wishes it was him. He has struggles with me. I was the one who convinced him to run. I was the one who told him not to turn around and not to go into the building. My son used to be my mini-me. We used to do everything together. This changed that. Our relationship is very different now. He's angry at what happened. He's angry at me for convincing him to run. And I'm angry at his loss of his childhood. Our relationship, which used to be based upon happy times and things in common, now has anger, loss, and sadness as an underlying theme. We love each other, and we always will, and we will always take care of one another. But we can't erase what happened. Our family is broken. The easy joy that used to be a part of our house is gone. Jamie used to be the leader of the energy in our home. She was incredibly silly, and she loved to talk. You were either laughing with her or yelling at her, but when around Jamie, you were always responding to her. She was the energy in our home and everywhere she went. Our home is much quieter now, and our moments as a family are always affected by that loss of energy. In June of 2018, we attempted to leave for our first family vacation since the shooting. We loved our family road trips. In prior summers, we used to always go to Hilton Head. It was Jamie's favorite place on earth. Jen made it clear that we would never go back there. So we chose to go to the Georgia mountains. About 5 minutes into our drive, Jesse became very emotional and wanted to go back. He was saying that we were no longer a family without Jamie, and that he did not want to go on a road trip without her in the other seat. Jen became emotional, and she also asked to go back. I was the driver, and I refused. We needed to get through the first time. Jen and Jesse were angry with me, but we went. It was a lousy week with one exception. For the very first time, we brought our dogs on a vacation. They were what we needed to get through that week. I've been told before that we all grieve differently, and it's true. While my path has been very public, my wife Jen and my son Jesse have been very private. My need to pursue change because of what happened to my children has made my life harder for my wife and for my son, and for that I am sorry. I'm a father who simply cannot stop acting like a father of two kids. What happened to my family now shapes every second of my life. I cannot hold a normal job. As I said before, this broke me. It changed the person who I am. My strength, my purpose in life now comes from reacting to what happened to my daughter and my family on February 14th, 2018. I've often said that I simply cannot look at Jamie's life in the past tense. I look at what happened on February 14, 2018 as changing our relationship. My relationship with Jamie before was one of love, laughs, and happiness. It was about making new memories. It was about dreams. It was about hopes. Now, our relationship is based upon imagination around the question, what if? Jamie will be forever 14, but it was not supposed to be that way. I couldn't wait to teach her to drive. I couldn't wait to throw her a sweet 16 party. I couldn't wait to see her have her first boyfriend. And yes, I had my dad's speech all worked out for whoever that boy was going to be. I couldn't wait to see her graduate. I couldn't wait to see her achieve her dream of getting into the University of Florida and rooming with her cousin and living her best life. I couldn't wait to see her graduate and ultimately become a pediatric physical therapist, working her dream job at the Paley Institute and achieving her dream of helping a child walk for the very first time. Most of all, Jamie imagined she would be married by 25. I used to think every day about that moment and walking my daughter down the aisle and becoming a grandparent to the 2 kids that she had already decided she was going to have. And now I ask, what if? What if Jamie wasn't murdered? What would these moments have ended up being like? My relationship with Jamie is now through photos and memories of what was and imagining what could have been. I'm happy and smile for all the other kids her age who are living the same life experiences that I expected for Jamie, but I cry over this at the same time. The truth is, not a day goes by where the constant image of Jamie walking down the aisle is not still a part of my daily imagination, along with that image of what should have been her future, of our future together. I now struggle every day with the reality that I didn't get to tell Jamie one last time that I love her. This reality is why I'm here today, this immeasurable grief and suffering. I am left to wonder, what if?
Thank you, Mr. Guttenberg. Mrs. Guttenberg, have you prepared a statement for the court today?
Yes, I did.
Are you able to read it, please?
Speaking about my daughter in the past tense is such a painful thing to do. And to sit here in front of this court and do just that is so difficult that there are no words to describe it. To the rest of the world, Jamie is known as the graceful and beautiful 14-year-old dancer with leaps a mile high. I wish that everyone knew that she was so much more. Aside from being a beautiful and competitive dancer, Jamie was an incredible human being. She was full of life, the life of the party, many would say, and she also had a quiet, insightful side too. She loved her family and friends intensely. She supported the humane treatment of dogs and spent her time at the Humane Society of Broward County. She was tiny but fierce and stood up against bullies and the underdog and was an advocate for those with special needs and disabilities. After a long week of school, Jamie volunteered on Friday afternoons to be a buddy in a dance class for students with special needs, and also on Saturdays for a fitness class for teens and young adults with special needs. She was a competitive dancer and spent many afternoons, evenings, and weekends dancing. She loved her busy schedule, but also truly cherished her downtime by snuggling with her dogs on the couch, curled up in front of her favorite TV shows, or hanging out with her family and friends. Jamie completed our family of 4: mom, dad, son, and daughter. She made us parents of 2 and made my son Jesse a big brother. From the moment Jesse laid eyes on her, he became nurturing and protective. Jamie grew into her own person very quickly and became such a vibrant part of our family. She was always determined, strong-minded, and passionate. She was smart and focused, an incredible student, and beautiful both inside and out. She was wise beyond her years and had a life plan. She wanted to attend the University of Florida to study and become a physical therapist for children with special needs, most specifically kids with limb differences. She wanted to help a child walk for the first time. She even knew where she wanted to work. She dreamed of getting married and having children of her own and spoke of that even at her young age. She knew how to live in the moment, but also plan for the future. February 14th, 2018 began as a typical day. Jamie happily left to go to school. Her brother Jesse drove her there, as he always did. She texted me at lunchtime because she was concerned about a friend, so she was asking for my advice, typical of Jamie worrying about others.
This was the last time I ever communicated with my beautiful, precious 14-year-old daughter. No actual words, just some texts about a friend in need. She never got to say goodbye. I never got to say goodbye. Her dad never got to say goodbye. Her brother never got to say goodbye. Nobody got to say goodbye. Our son Jesse was 17, a junior at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School when Jamie's life was taken. At the end of every school day, he would meet Jamie, just a freshman near her last class, and they would walk together to his car so he could drive her home. This particular day, it would have been at the 1200 building, but he didn't get the chance. After the tragedy, Jesse eventually made the painful decision to go back to the school where it all happened. Every day during his senior year, he parked his car and walked past the 1200 building. His first period class that year was right across from the building. He struggles immensely with survivor's guilt, why he made it out that day and Jamie didn't. He beats himself up inside for not being able to save her, even though it wasn't possible. He fears losing his family, and he is not the same upbeat and happy person and feels he'll never be the same. Jesse and Jamie bickered like siblings, but were also best friends. She took care of him as much as he took care of her. He lost his number one. It's impossible to describe life without Jamie in this short amount of time that I've been given here, but I will try my best. Every day I live with the fact that Jamie's life was cut too short and that she was unable to show the world her fullest potential. She missed out on a lifetime of things: high school experiences, dance classes with her friends, high school graduation, moving away to college and college graduation, her first job, getting married, and having kids of her own. The list goes on and on. The pain of this is unbearable. My life feels so empty, lonely, and incomplete. There are days that the sadness is so overwhelming and the crying comes from deep within the gut and causes physical pain. I can't sleep well. My career has suffered, as working with other people's children, especially at their school, is now so emotionally taxing. My outlook on life has completely changed in such a negative way. It takes strength just to get through each day. One day at a time, we say, even this many years later. I lost my daughter, my flesh and blood, the baby that grew inside of me, and then in an instant, she was gone. I lost my purpose in life that day. My job as a mom to Jamie was taken from me. I went from taking her to dance, going on lunch dates, shopping together, making sure she was fed, healthy, safe, and so much more, to doing nothing. All of our relationships in the house changed that very day, and we still work hard to repair the damage that this has caused. We will continue moving forward together in a life that is so drastically different, and one filled with sadness and trauma. Every day things are difficult. Seeing her friends and classmates achieve milestones that she will never have the chance to achieve is excruciatingly difficult. Family get-togethers and holidays will always include a missing seat at the table, and the life of the party is no longer there, keeping everyone upbeat and laughing. There is togetherness, but there's no celebrating. There's a deafening silence amongst everyone, as they don't want to bring up Jamie's name to cause pain, but don't want to forget her either. Her elderly grandparents are there to partake, carrying the guilt, knowing that in a typical life, they should be gone long before her. Jamie's cousins struggle with losing her every day. One of her cousins, the same age as Jamie, was one of her best friends and is now at college without her, after years of planning that they would be going together. Her younger cousin struggled with coming to our home and stopped doing things with us because it was too painful without her. Our relationships with everyone has changed, including family, friends, and even strangers. Nobody knows the right words to say. Nobody knows how to act around us. No matter how close or far away they are, they live with the pain too, as our pain is their pain. I struggle immensely with not allowing myself to partake in anything that Jamie liked. Her favorite snack I cannot let touch my lips because it isn't fair that I can eat it, but she no longer can. I can't watch Gator football games, my own alma mater, because Jamie should be at her dream school watching those games herself. If one of her favorite TV shows comes on, I change the channel. Why should I watch if she can't? The list goes on and on. I miss Jamie. I miss her sparkle. I miss her larger-than-life personality. I miss her dancing. I miss her snuggles. I miss her hugs. I miss her kisses. I miss our chats. I miss everything about her from her head to her toes. I miss her heart. I miss her soul. I miss my girl. Valentine's Day, a day of love, used to be my favorite holiday, and now it will always represent the absolute worst day of my life. Our lives have been changed forever and will never return to what most consider normal. We have created a foundation in Jamie's name to keep her memory alive. We use it to do good things in the world, supporting things that were important to Jamie in life, as well as to why her life was taken from her. I will always have to speak of my daughter now in the past tense, because she's no longer here with me on earth. As a parent, there can be no greater pain.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Guttenberg. Thank you. Ms. Shara Kaplan.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can go ahead and be seated. And then if you would please state your full name for the record.
Shara Kaplan, Kaplan.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Kaplan.
Afternoon.
Are you the mother of Meadow Pollock?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 70 and ask you to please identify this photograph.
Meadow.
Is this your daughter?
Yes.
Would you please show the jury?
Thank you.
Ms. Kaplan, did you prepare a statement to give in court today?
Yes, I did.
Are you ready to give it now?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. Meadow, my life, is what I call her. She is my life, the most incredible daughter any mother could ask for. She is smart, kind, empathetic, inclusive, strong, and exceptionally beautiful inside and out. She is an old soul with an understanding of the world far beyond her years. She is the baby sister of her beloved brothers, Huck and Hunter. She is always there to help them. She was always there to help them or to be a wise sounding board for them. Ultimately, though, she was their baby sister. Brothers have to bear the burden for the rest of their lives that the person they wanted to protect the most was taken from them on February 14th, 2018. Huck and Hunter strive to do everything in her honor. The relationship I have with my daughter is one of admiration, overwhelming love, and great respect. To try to articulate how it has affected me would be for me to rip my heart out and present it to you shattered in a million pieces. It has destroyed my life and my capability of ever living a productive existence. I am only able to carry on for the deep love I have for my boys, Huck and Hunter. I need to make sure they have some semblance of a productive, fulfilled life they deserve. It haunts and consumes my every thought, every second of every day. I suppress my reality to survive. As a mother asked how I'm impacted, it is an unspeakable punishment.
Thank you, Ms. Kaplan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Marilyn Binner.
Good afternoon. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you, ma'am. You can go ahead and be seated. Okay. Would you please state your full name for the record?
It is Marilyn Binner, B-I-N-N-E-R.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Binner.
Good afternoon.
Are you a good friend of Melissa Feiss and her daughter Ariel with husband Aaron Feiss?
I am.
Okay. Are they in the courtroom here today?
They are.
Okay. And Mrs. Feiss has prepared a statement along with Ariel, and she's asked you to read it on their behalf?
Yes, she has.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 69 and ask you if you can identify this.
Yes, that's
And who
Aaron.
is this?
That is Aaron Feiss.
Would you please show it to the jury? Thank you, Ms. Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
Would you please read the statement that Ms. Feiss prepared?
Yes. Loss is defined as a state or feeling of grief when deprived of someone or something of value. Aaron's death is not only an immeasurable loss to our family and friends, but extends throughout the entire community. I was 16 years old when I met Aaron during a church service. Even at a young age, Aaron never wavered in his faith or his beliefs. His convictions were rooted in his foundation. Aaron knew he could make a difference in the lives of others. Over the next 2 decades, we grew together and shared our life as a couple and then as parents. Looking back, I realized that Aaron believed in me and saw my whole heart, even when I couldn't. He knew more about who I was and what I needed, often before I thought of it. Aaron had a knack for putting others at ease. His presence, jovial smile, and sense of humor made him a person others sought to be around. Aaron loved sports and was an example of hard work and determination. It wasn't always about the win or the standouts. It was about the kids, the team, and what he knew about each player individually. Aaron was the mortar that filled in anyone's missing parts in life. He was selfless in his actions. He loved people for who they were when he met them and what he believed they could grow to be. Although Aaron was a football coach, his mentoring and availability to listen to others spilled over the yards and beyond the goalpost of the football field. Over the past 4 years, I've heard from countless students and people who knew him. They shared what seemed to be little things, but for each one meant so much. Aaron was the oldest of the 4 children in the Feist family. Our home became the gathering place because Aaron was the heart of the family. He loved to cook and feed others. You could smell his Italian pasta sauce on the stove even before you opened the door. There were many joyful holidays and celebrations because Aaron made sure that everyone felt welcome. Aaron was the doting father every little girl wishes and dreams about. I can see his light in Ariel and recognize his spirit woven into her fabric. He believed she could do anything and be anyone. Navigating as a widow with a young but not so young daughter can be overwhelming and challenging. There are the everyday moments that we miss sharing with Aaron. How was school? What was the best part of your day? What's for dinner? Can you help me with my homework? It causes me great emotional pain that there are so many milestones in our daughter's life that Aaron has missed in the last 4 years. I have to refrain from letting my heart think about what he will continue to miss out on in Ariel's life. There are the special outings and moments that Aaron and Ariel shared together, like their daddy-daughter diner dates, that will never be again. Ariel will be 13 in June. She misses her father terribly. Sometimes she is searching for answers to questions. It is in these moments that she will ask, "What would Daddy say? What advice do you think he would give me?" It is these days I feel his absence more. Aaron isn't here to give his fatherly guidance and advice. It's heartbreaking and unimaginable at times, and yet it's my reality. Aaron's driving force was his faith. Our family continues to be anchored in the Word of God as it guides us daily. Aaron, without question, believed that he was called upon to be a figure to fill an absence in others. He was the missing puzzle piece in the lives of so many. It didn't matter if the edges were smooth, round, worn, or frayed. Aaron found a way to fill the gap. The impact of the immense loss of Aaron and the other 16 lives taken from their families remains unfathomable. Our world will never be the same without Aaron Lewis Feist in it.
Thank you, Ms. Benner. Ms. Mahia.
Good afternoon. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, Miss. You can have a seat. And when you're seated, please state your full name and spell your last name for the record.
Jennifer with one N, Mejia, M-E-J-I-A.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mahia.
Good afternoon.
Will you be reading a statement that was prepared on behalf of Martin Duque Anguiano's family?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to be showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 62 and ask you to show the jury, please. For the record, it is a photograph of Martin Duque Anguiano. Thank you. Would you please read what his family has wrote for the court?
Yes. Martin Duque Jr. was born in a very small town in Mexico where everyone knew each other. His dream was to be a Navy SEAL for the United States of America. He was a smart kid and always helped others even before himself. He was very kind, intelligent, and helpful with people. His favorite movie was Star Wars. He was basically an old soul. His family loved him in every situation, and he would always tell his parents that when he grew up, he would buy them a house. He was a man of faith who believed in God and always tried to see the best in people. We miss him very much, and it's been so hard to live without him, but I know he would want me to push and keep going, and we all miss him so much every day.
Thank you very much. A break, but I think we need to have a sidebar.
Okay, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Please do not discuss anything that is going on in here, including the case or the testimony, and please leave your notepads behind.
It's a scheduling issue, so I think we have to go side.